My dear students, now we are going to discuss Mendel's laws of inheritance. After completion of his experiments on Pisum sativum, he proposed a certain number of laws of inheritance. How inheritance is possible. What are those laws of inheritance? Law of dominance, law of segregation of gametes or purity of gametes. Third one, law of independent assortment. To understand all these laws of inheritance, what is a dominance? What is a law of segregation of gametes? Law of segregation, and purity of gametes, and law of independent assortment. We should go back to Mendel experiments. What type of experiments he conducted on Pisum sativum. Before knowing what type of experiment he conducted, we should know what about the total number of Pisum sativum plants selected by Mendel. Okay, so what about a total number of true breeding lines? True breeding lines selected by Mendel. Okay, so Mendel experiments. For his experiments, he selected 14 true breeding plants. He selected, Mendel selected, he selected 14 true breeding plants as parents. 14 plants means how many pairs? 7 pairs of plants. 7 pairs of Pisum sativum. Okay, so couple 1, couple 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 couples. Next, what is a true breeding? Yesterday, we discussed what is a true breeding. True breeding means, again, I'm discussing here what is a true breeding. For example, this is a Pisum plant, one plant, and that is in homozygous condition. We'll see what is homozygous condition. Homozygous condition. I will give you diagrams for homozygous, heterozygous, what are the alleles, locus, we will see after completion of this one. That is in homozygous condition, not in heterozygous condition. Don't worry about what is homozygous, wait. Subjected to self-pollination, progeny produced, and continue it. So true breeding line means progeny produced by a single parent by means of a self-pollination and with a stable trait inheritance. This character is this statement is very, very important. Stable trait inheritance. Okay, so same character is moving from parents to offspring, from offsprings to next generation, even after a number of generations. That character is present in each and every almost maximum number of lines, maximum number of generations. So if it is with a stable, continuous trait character, for example, inheritance, same character is moving from, passing from one generation to next generation. That is called as a true breeding line, true breeding clients. So total number of true breeding clients selected by Mendel, 14. That is called as a true breeding line or true breeding clients. Okay. And all these plants, all these plants all these plants, 14 plants are similar in all characters except one character. Under the heading success story of Mendel, we discussed one, that is each time he observed inheritance of how many characters? He observed inheritance of a single character. That was one of the reasons for his success. Link that statement with this. See, all these plants are similar in all characters except one character. And he selected that one character to observe whether it is passing from first parent to generation, first progeny, second progeny, third progeny, like that. So that one character, inheritance, study of inheritance of one character was one of the reasons for his success. So these plants are similar in all characters except one. He observed, he identified inheritance of that character. So that's why he selected 14 plants which are dissimilar in one character only. Right? Now, what are the characters? So what about characters selected by Mendel? What type of characters? And how to understand what is the difference between character and a trait? Now, with the help of this, you can understand. Okay, so first one, true breeding line, true breeding pair I am taking. Pair means two plants. Okay, next, dominant trait and recessive trait. Dominant and recessive trait. So first pair 1, Paisum sativum 1, Paisum sativum 2. In that first pair, what about the character? Okay, so true breeding pair with character. Here, take character only. What type of character? First one is a height of the stem. Height of stem. You can take a height of the plant also. That is also correct. But go according to textbook statement, height of the stem. So height of the stem is a vegetative character, somatic character. So it is a vegetative character. Remember, this is a vegetative character. Okay. In that character, what about traits? This is well known to you. Tall, dwarf. Okay. Oblique is given. You can give oblique. Either tall or dwarf. Okay. So tall or dwarf. Tall, dwarf. Phenotypic character. Decided by the genotype. Decided by the genotype. First, characters. After that, we'll see what about genotype. How genotype is able to decide a phenotype. Okay. So here, character. Okay. So what character? Yeah, character. What character? Height. Okay. What type of height? Tall, dark. Okay. So here, character. One more. Take one more. Second character. Second one. Position of flower. Position of a flower means the type of the inflorescence on the base of position. Type of the inflorescence on the base of position, actually. Position based inflorescence type. Position based. So according to position based, what about dominant and recessive? We'll see what is dominant and recessive. Wait. Position based, flower position. Okay, that is axillary or terminal. Axillary, oblique, terminal. Axillary or terminal. So go back to inflorescence. Under the heading inflorescence, you studied different kinds of inflorescences. First one is on the base of position of the inflorescence. What are they? Are you able to recollect? Terminal inflorescence. Racemo, apical inflorescence. Sorry. Terminal inflorescence. Racemose is on the base of growth of the peduncle. Okay. So here, position based, axillary, terminal. Axillary means coming from the axils of the leaf. Axillary inflorescence. But a given one is a position of flower. Position of flower means type of the inflorescence. So position based inflorescence. You can write a position based inflorescence type. Inflorescence type. Type of the inflorescence on the base of position of that inflorescence. Axillary, terminal. So definitely it is a reproductive character, means reproductive inflorescence, reproductive concern. Okay, so what is flower? Aerial stem modification concerned with sexual reproduction. Aerial stem modification or not? Go back to first year morphology. So what about the number of vegetative characters is selected? What about the total number of reproductive characters is selected? Like that, they will question you in NEET exam. Okay, so reproductive character, flower, position based inflorescence. So this character is related to aerial stem modification. What is that aerial stem modification? Flower, concerned with sexual reproduction. Next, third character. Okay, flower color, color of the flower. Color of the flower. Now you can understand what is the difference between character and trait. Okay, so here color is a character. What color is it? Right. For example, flower color, a character. What color? What color means what type of color? Quality, adjective. That indicates adjective or not. Flower color. So flower is a violet, oblique, white. Okay. So character is with two or three or many traits. They are contrasting or not? See, tall, dwarf, contrasting of one character, right? So what is color? It's a color means adjective. What type of color? Violet, white. Okay. So this is also aerial stem modification concerned character, reproductive character. Selected from aerial stem modification, reproductive character. Next, fourth character. Okay, so fourth character is a seed color. Color of the seed. What color means the type of the color. What type of seed color? This is a well known to you, that is a 10th class. Seed color, yellow or green, sorry, yellow or green. So this is a product of a sexual reproduction. Seed is a product of sexual reproduction or not? Seed color. And the fifth character, seed shape. Shape of the seed. What type of shape? Round, wrinkled. This is also seed character, means product of sexual reproduction. Sixth character, pod. Pod is given. What is a pod? Pod is a fruit, legume fruit, indehiscent, no dehiscence. So pod is a legume fruit, indehiscent fruit. Okay, pod, color of the pod. So here green, dominant, yellow, recessive. So that is a product of reproduction only. Last character, seventh character, pod shape. What type of shape? Contrasting traits. Pod shape, inflated, swollen, inflated, large, without constrictions, inflated, constrictions, constricted. So what is inflated and constricted? Constricted. First take constricted. This is a fruit with seeds. So between successive seeds, a shallow groove is present. That is called as a constriction. So fruit is a little bit small, not swollen. Inflated, straight one, inflated. Seed 1, 2, 3, certain number. Okay, so what about the total number of characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. So total number of characters, 7 characters. How many traits contrasting opposite to each other? Contrasting or not? See, tall, dark, contrasting. Right now, what is a dominant trait and recessive trait? According to Mendel, a trait which is expressed in both homozygous condition and heterozygous condition is a dominant trait. What is dominant trait? A trait which is expressed in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. That is called as a dominant trait. Now, what is a recessive trait? A trait which is expressed in homozygous condition only. Homozygous condition only. We'll see what is homozygous condition, right? So what is a dominant trait? A trait which is expressed in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. That is said to be dominant. Recessive is expressed in homozygous condition only. That is the difference between dominant trait and a recessive trait. Simply for our understanding, we can take like this. Dominant means it is present in maximum number of individuals, just for our understanding only. Dominant means present in maximum number of individuals. Recessive means present in certain number of individuals. But don't use this definition. According to genetics and Mendel, you should use the statement given by Mendel only. What is a dominant trait definition according to Mendel? A trait which is expressed in both heterozygous and homozygous condition. Recessive trait means the trait which is expressed in homozygous condition only. Okay, right? So go back to how many true breeding lines is selected? 14. Okay, so pair 1, pair 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs. Each pair is dissimilar in one character. One character or not? What is that character? Height here, position of flower here, flower color here. Okay, seed color here, seed shape here, pod color here, pod shape. Matching or not? So these characters, what is select? Matching with all these parents are similar in all characters except one. That is either height or position of flower or color of the flower, seed color, seed shape, any one of them. Remaining all are 100% same except one character. Okay. So what about the total number of characters selected from vegetative parts? Vegetative character selected from vegetative parts, that is only one. Remaining all are reproductive consent or not. Flower, aerial stem modification. From flower, how many is selected? 2 characters. Seed and fruit, products of reproduction. So he selected how many characters from products of reproduction? 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember this one. So go back. What about the total number of somatic characters? Characters selected from somatic part. This is from somatic 1. This is somatic vegetative 1. Okay. And what about the total number of characters selected from aerial stem modification concerned with sexual reproduction? Aerial stem modification concerned with sexual reproduction. And what about the total number of characters selected from products of reproduction? 1, 2, 3, 4 or not? 1:2, 2:4. Remember this one. This is very, very important. Okay. Out of from flower, how many characters? 2. From seed, how many? 2. From pod, how many? 2. What is the ratio between characters from flower, seed, pod? 2, 2, 2. 1:1, 1:1. Color based characters. Color based. Color based. Flower color, seed color, pod color. Color based how many? 3. Next, shape based. Seed shape, pod shape. Only 2. Okay, is it clear? Right? So this is a one pair, one true breeding plant, one true breeding pair. In that pair, one plant is tall, the other one is dwarf. I will give you genotypes also after completion of what is heterozygous condition and homozygous condition. So there is about a total number of characters is selected from 7 pairs of plants. Okay, so what is the purpose of selection of these characters? To study inheritance. This character is whether that character is passing from the parent or not. That was the objective of Mendel or not. What was the objective of Mendel? To study inheritance, mechanism of inheritance. Okay, right? So that is about characters. What about the total number of characters? 7 characters. Each character with how many contrasting traits? 2. One pair of contrasting traits. One pair, second pair, third pair, and so on. 7 pairs of contrasting traits. Right? Is it clear? And I will give you parents also after completion of what is homozygous and what is a heterozygous condition. Okay. So to understand various terms given in our textbook, we have to go through certain number of terms mandatory. What are they? Terminology. Terminology in genetics. Certain number of terms. Terminology. Terminology in genetics. Okay. First one, what is gene? Gene is well known to you. What is gene? A segment of DNA. A segment of DNA that codes for one character. One or many, but here I'm taking one character. Usually one character, according to Mendel. One character. Or more than one character also. We will see later. Exemptions are there, more than one also. More than one also. But according to Mendel, one character. One gene is able to decide how many characters? One character. That character with how many traits? 2 traits. Remember that one. Next. According to Mendel, gene is with forms, various forms. What are they? They are called as alleles. Alleles. What is allele? Forms of a gene. Forms of a gene. So according to Mendel, this is according to Mendel only. According to Mendel. According to Mendel, one gene, one character. Okay, right? And that gene is with different forms. They are called as alleles. Forms of a gene. Wait. Forms of a gene. Different forms of a gene is called as a allele. Wait. Okay, right? Next. What are the alleles? Forms of a gene. Now, character. What is character? Phenotype or not? Character is a phenotype. Morphological character. Phenotype. Okay. Each character, a character is with a contrasting traits. Contrasting traits. For example, this is a chromosome 1, chromosome 2. Okay, so these are the homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes. Okay, so go back to weight. I will give you time at the end, or not now, please. I will give you time, don't worry. I will discuss. So this is a chromosome 1, chromosome 2. First one, for example, father chromosome or mother chromosome, parental chromosomes, paternal and maternal chromosomes. Okay, so here I'm using mother chromosome, father chromosome. Okay, in our body, 50% chromosomes belongs to mother, remaining 50% belongs to father. What is homologous chromosome? Last year I explained. Simple, remember, chappals, a pair of chappals. So in the classroom, each and every student with a one pair of chappals. Both are generally morphologically similar. Same color almost. Same length. Size also same or not. For example, here I'm taking length. Okay. What about the length? 7 inches, 7 inches. 8 inches, 8 inches. 9 inches, 9 inches. 10 inches, 10 inches. So generally, the pairing is possible between those sizes only. 7, 7, one homologous pair. For example, only. That is a dummy one to understand the concept. So here, any student wearing 7 number, 8 number, 10 number, 11 number, that is a heterologous chromosome. Okay. So what is homologous chromosome? During meiosis, pairing of chromosomes is in between mother and father, paternal, maternal chromosomes. Okay, so here same length, for example only, same length. For example, 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters, for example only, or 100 angstroms, 100 angstroms, right? So here I'm taking certain number of alleles. For example, capital T, according to Mendel, T is allele. Okay, so these two alleles are present on the same location or not? Okay, so these two belongs to allele 1, allele 2. These two are alleles or not? Wait. Of same kind or different kind? Same kind. So these two alleles of that gene of the same kind are present at the same location. Same location or not? Quite opposite to each other. Okay, so this is a one gene. These two collectively called as one gene. So this is a one gene. This is a gene 1, for example only, gene 1. With how many alleles? 2 alleles of the same type or not? Capital T, capital T. Capital T is allele, dominant allele. Capital T, remember this one. Capital T, uppercase. These two alleles are present on the same location. So this is a locus. Locus means location simply. Locus. Location of both the alleles. Okay, so here one character. What is that character? Height. Here, how many kinds of alleles are present? One only. So this plant is definitely tall plant. And this is one gene. And that gene is with how many kinds of alleles? One kind of allele, capital T, capital T. So regarding this gene, this parent is a homozygous. So this is called as homozygous condition. Homozygous condition. Homozygous. Next, wait. Next, take one more homologous pair. This is a homologous pair. Second one, for example, in the second parent, one more parent. Here, small t, small t. What are those small t and capital T? Forms of a gene. Go back. Alleles. What are the alleles? Forms of a gene. What is that gene? Height consent gene. Height consent gene, according to Mendel, is with two types of alleles, capital T, small t. Okay, so these two same alleles of one gene or not? Gene 1 with a same type of alleles. So this is a locus of those alleles. Locus, location. Locus is nothing but a location. So this is the locus. Here I'm writing locus. Okay, so alleles of a gene are present at the same location. That is called as a locus. Next, in this parent, those two chromosomes present in one parent, whatever the parent. Now it is a capital small t, small t. This is a dwarf, and this is also in homozygous condition. Homozygous condition. Okay, so this is a plant 1. This is a plant 2. For example, only second plant with a certain number of chromosomes I'm giving. 2 chromosomes, so not all chromosomes. Next one, homologous chromosome pair in third plant. So here it is a capital T and here it is a small t. Okay, so now the gene is with two different forms. Here same form, different forms. What are those different forms? Represented by uppercase and lowercase. Dominant allele, recessive allele. Okay, so this is a locus of that gene representing two kinds of alleles. These two belongs to one gene only, gene 1. Okay, and what about the phenotype of this plant? Tall plant, tall. And what about the condition? Heterozygous. This is a heterozygous in condition. For example, this is a plant 3. For example, third plant. Now go back to what is homozygous condition. Homozygous means having same type of alleles in the same locus. Here also same type of alleles of that gene, homozygous. In this location, two different kinds of alleles of a gene are located. Two kinds of alleles are present in the same location. Now this plant is called as a heterozygous. So what is homozygous? Plant with the same type of alleles, either completely dominant or recessive. Next, a combination of both is heterozygous. That is the difference between heterozygous and homozygous. Okay, so here in this case, height of the plant according to Mendel, height of stem depends on one gene. Height consent gene. That height consent gene is with two types of alleles. What are they? Capital T, small t. Capital T, small t. So these two are collectively called as allelomorphs. Contrasting alleles are also called as allelomorphs. Morphologically different or not? Capital T, small t, allelomorphs. Right? Is it clear? So that's about gene allele. What is the locus? Location of alleles of a gene. According to Mendel, each gene is represented by two kinds of alleles only. One is a dominant allele and second one is a recessive allele. What are the symbols for alleles here according to Mendel? If the allele is a dominant, we should use a capital letter to represent it. If it is a recessive, we should use a small letter, lowercase only, right? So that's about a homozygous condition and a heterozygous condition. Now go back to what is a dominant trait, recessive trait. Dominant trait means a trait which is expressed in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. Recessive means expressed in only homozygous condition. Here, homozygous, heterozygous. See, what about the phenotype of this one? Tall, for example, 5 centimeters length. This one, homozygous, dwarf, 2 centimeters. Next, heterozygous, 5 centimeters. What about tall character? Tall, expressed in both homozygous and heterozygous condition. And what about recessive character? Dwarf character, expressed in homozygous condition only. Right? Is it clear? Here, how many kinds of alleles? One kind. Here, how many kinds of alleles in that locus? One. Here, how many kinds of alleles? Two kinds. Tall character, dominant character, expressed in homozygous and heterozygous. But what about a dwarf character? Expressed in homozygous condition only. That is the difference between dominant trait, recessive trait according to Mendel. Is it clear? Right? Okay. Next. Wait. Right? Next. Separately, I'm taking locus. What is a locus? Locus, singular. Location of a gene on the chromosome. So this is a homologous chromosome 1. I will give you a heterologous chromosome also after completion of this one. Okay. So for example, here I'm taking capital T. You can take small t or capital T. Take capital T. Capital Y, capital Y. For example only. Okay. Next. Capital R, capital R. Like that, you can take many arrays. Capital W, capital W. So here, how many genes are present? We should know. For example, here on many genes are present, but according to given number of English alphabets, we can decide how many genes are there. So this is a locus 1. Locus 1 means the location of that gene. Locus 2. Second location, simply. Second location. Don't label it. This is a locus of next one. Locus of next one. Okay, so plural of that one, loci. How many loci? Loci. Four loci. This is a one location. Location 1, 2, 3, 4 of that gene. In this locus, how many genes? One only. This is a one gene represented by same type of alleles. Same type of alleles. Same type of alleles. Same type of alleles. So gene 1, gene 2, gene 3, gene 4. Allele 1, allele 2. Okay. So that is about locus, location. Right? Is it clear? Next. Cis and trans arrangement of genes. Cis and trans arrangement of genes. What is a cis and trans arrangement of genes? Cis and trans. Cis and trans arrangement of genes. First, cis arrangement. What is how to understand a cis arrangement? For example, this is a homologous pair 1. Okay. So here I'm taking English alphabets A, B, C, D like that. A, B, you can take two enough. Many, when if you take many, no problem. Capital A, capital B. Dominant allele, dominant allele. Recessive allele, recessive allele. On this chromosome, all the alleles are dominant. And on this chromosome, all the alleles are recessive. This is called as a cis arrangement. So cis arrangement means each chromosome is with either dominant or recessive alleles. So each chromosome with either dominant or recessive alleles. Either dominant or recessive alleles. Next, trans arrangement. What is a trans arrangement? Take same chromosomes here. Chromosome 1, chromosome 2. Here capital A, small b. Okay, right? Here small a, capital B. Now, what is the definition for that one? Each chromosome is with both dominant and recessive alleles. Dominant, recessive. Okay, so this is called as a trans arrangement of genes. So here each chromosome with both dominant and recessive alleles. That is yes, I know. I'll stop here. So that is about cis and trans arrangement. Okay. That is enough for today.